The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt, J.K. Simmons, and Sam Richardson. A couple other people were in there also that were pretty good, but those were the three main guys. It was a good movie. It had a good, interesting plot. It was a time travel type sci-fi movie with a little pinch of Independence Day. I guess it came out at the right time. 30 years in the future, we're fighting a war against an alien. Nobody saw spaceships, nobody saw anything, just these alien entities showed up, galloping like horses all over the place, eating people. They didn't want to negotiate, they didn't really want to fight, they were just hunters. Not even hunters, they were just eating people, just running around, eating them wherever they could find them. And in the course of about a year, the 8 billion people on the planet is down to about 500,000. So in the last ditch attempt to win the war against these aliens, they send troops back to the world 30 years prior. And they're like, hey man, this war is going on and we need help in the future. So people are like, okay, yeah, we'll help you. They skipped all of the convincing because you would have had to convince me that that was real. But those warriors that came back are training people to go to the future and fight for them. So now what it is every citizen has to do 1 week in the war. So you get picked and you have to go drafted and you have to go to the war in the future and fight for 7 days. If you survive, you come back and you're done. If you do not survive, I guess if you don't survive, you die. But if you run or you mess with these bracelets that they put on you that allows them to send you to the future, either you'll go to jail or your loved ones, your immediate family, will be sent to jail. So you got to fight. And Chris Pratt, of course, has to fight in the future. And he meets a woman there who happens to lead the military. She also leads the science team. So she's the leader, the best fighter, and the smartest person, all balled up into one, and she don't even wear a cape. But I wasn't, it looked like they kind of squashed all of that in to one person because they didn't want to hire any more people. I don't know what that was all about. But Sam Richardson was hilarious in this. He plays another scientist who doesn't want to fight. He's a scientist. He don't want to fight. And he goes out of his way to avoid getting into fights. He was interesting. He prattles, he talks, incessantly. And he says when he's nervous, he can't help but to speak. And he looks at one guy and says, yeah, you look like a murderer. And like, don't say that, he'll kill you. He says, well, I said he looked like a murderer. And I'm thinking, you did say that, but you're going to get yourself shot in the face. The monsters were fairly terrifying. If we had to fight them here on Earth, I would suck. So that was a thing. But the lack of surprise of people got me. Because they come and they're like, there's an explosion and people just start falling out of the sky and they're like, we're from the future. And people are like, oh, okay. Like, there's aliens and you got to help us fight them. And they're like, yeah, sure, okay, we'll start volunteering people. And I'm like, really? You're not going to, that's it? And then one guy who has never seen the aliens before, the alien shows up and he just starts shooting at it. Now granted, it's an alien. You know it wants to kill you. If you've got a gun, sure, you'll shoot at it. But there was no surprise. He was just like, oh, bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, you're not even going to scream or, it's an alien. I mean, they had no surprise. Nobody was surprised at anything. I didn't get that part. It was a good movie. I like the plot. I like the whole time travel thing. And there's one scene where Chris Pratt gave me a Will Smith vibe, where he punches the monster in the face and it's like, bam! And I'm looking at the TV and I just yelled, welcome to Earth, like Independence Day. because he punched an alien in the face. A big, I mean, they're big, they're huge. You know, they're like small elephants. And he just punched it in the face. Seriously? So I'm not sure if I'd have punched it in the face, you know, but he's Chris Pratt, you know, he's Star-Lord. Of course, he'll punch an alien in the face. It was not a bad movie. I hear people talking about it, and I'm getting mixed reviews from different people. I actually kind of dig sci-fi thrillers, action sci-fi thrillers, and this was it with a sprinkle of comedy. So I liked it. I liked it. In fact, I liked it so much that I would give this movie 7 bags of popcorn. 7 bags of popcorn. I mean, J.K. Simmons was in there, you know, wearing a t-shirt. He was all buff. He had a Stevie Nicks joke. You'll dig it. And, I mean, there's a lot of good things happening in this movie. But that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Now, if you've seen the video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like this video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.